I'm Alice from Simply Dynamics, and welcome to our webinar today on SD Case Manager. SD Case Manager is available to download from AppSource, where you can avail of a free 30-day trial or a 30-day free trial. And on our AppSource page, we have an overview video, which you can see here, and also a user guide, which you can download, which can get you started once you install SD Case Manager. And then once you've downloaded and installed the app, you can just activate the 30-day free trial by just going into the Case Manager setup card. Sorry, I probably went in there too quickly. Here on the Role Center, it's the Case Manager Role Center. And you just simply choose Product Activation. Just put in your company name, your email, and hit Free Trial. And then you'll get your 30-day free trial. And you'll see here the date that your trial will expire. So there's absolutely no need whatsoever to enter any credit card details. So once you've activated your free trial, you can go into the assisted setup here, also in the Case Manager setup card. And this will just import some demo data into the Case Manager tables, just for you to start to begin using Case Manager. Okay, so that's the installation, activation of the trial license, and just the importing of some demo data for you. Okay, so SD Case Manager provides Business Central users with a highly flexible means and way of logging, tracking, escalating, and alerting various issues that may come up in your organization as cases. So if we just drill through here on the cases queue, you can see with SD Case Manager, you can define your own user-definable workflows, which means SD Case Manager can be used to log different streams or different types of cases. So SD Case Manager can be used as a ticketing system for logging cases to deal with tickets, a customer complaint system, also as a quality control system, and also to log and track any non-conformance issues. So in all these different types of cases, different streams of cases can all be logged in SD Case Manager concurrently. Okay, and these different streams of cases that we see here, the different types of cases that can be logged, we call these queues. And using queues in SD Case Manager allows you to set up a flexible way of creating your user-definable workflows and to-do actions for the cases that are in the queue. So the examples here we have of these queues, these are created when you import your the demo data in the assisted setup. So we'll just take an example here. We'll just have a look at the customer complaints queue. So in the queue card here, you can set up and assign a template code to the queue. And with this template, you define template case actions. I'll show you now, with or without attached files. I'll just go in here to this one. This is the queue here. Sorry, the template in the queue. So this is our customer complaints template. So you can set up here the various different actions that you want to happen when you receive a customer complaint. So first of all, you want to log the complaint, say, for example, qualify it, action and resolve, and close the customer complaint. So defining these action types means you can choose to attach a file to one of the actions. You can create detailed comments. So for example, your actions, your comments, anytime an action is created to log the customer complaint, you can have your own particular type of, I suppose, comments here to allow you to define what the complaint is. You can also assign default users. So if you have users that you want to log the customer complaints, you can define them here, just a list of your users. You can also set up due dates when the actions will be created, when the case is created. So defining this template code at the queue level allows you to set up the case actions, which are auto-created for any cases in the queue when the case is logged or created. Okay, so we'll go back into the customer complaints queue. So that's the template. And here in each queue, you can also set up statuses. So these statuses here are manually updated on the case card. I'll show you how that works later, as it progresses the case through the queue's workflow. So here you have defined a status for the case of logging. So that's going to be you're going to log the complaint, it's your first status. You'll then move on to qualify the complaint. You'll then move on to resolve the complaint, and then your final step will be to close the case. And you can see then that that status is marked as closed. And also in the queue card, you can define your escalation rules. So these escalation rules here allow you to notify both internal and external parties on the case of the progress of the case or on actions that are needed or actions that need to be taken. So we'll have a quick look at the escalation card. So you can hear, for this example, you can notify the assigned user, so the user who's been assigned to the case for the action, say the qualify action, or sorry, the log action, that a case has been logged. So you can see here you'd set that the case status has to be logged, that the case has to be in this log state for an hour, and then every day you send an email until the person logs the case and moves it on to the next status. We can just go into a card here and give you an example of the escalation card. So this just allows you to notify the assigned user, and you have other actions that you can choose as well. You can notify user watchers, which are people watching the case, which you can assign. I'll show you again when we create a case. You can email the assigned users and email the watchers of the case. So again, here's some other examples of escalations you can set up. Emailing the assigned user to qualify the case. Okay, so that's that there with the escalations. So if we, so we can see with the escalations that just from the examples here, you can send notifications to Business Central users, or you can email the internal users and email the external watchers of the case as well. And you can also email the case reporter and external parties. Okay, so back out here, that's the queues and the idea of the different streams of cases that you can log. Okay, so here in the role center, we're in the case manager role center. The user role center is somewhat similar. You can see in the case manager role center all your open cases, your closed cases, any assigned case actions. You can see your cases that you're managing and all your actions that are due for completion today or this week, and any assigned actions. So also another feature of Case Manager is that all the cases and their associated actions can be quickly and easily visually identified by using priorities. So here again, the demo data that you'd import in the assisted setup, just a very simple priority of low, medium, high and standard, and we've assigned them different colours to signify the priorities. So you can just see here we have all your open cases. This case here has a standard priority. This one has a higher priority. It's more critical. So that's just another feature there. Okay, so we'll go in and we'll take a look at the cases. So just simply drill through on the open cases queue. And the same with the actions. Obviously, you just drill down through onto your assigned actions as well. And we can see here our case list, our list of open cases. Okay, so let's choose, we'll go into, let's go into this one here. So an example of a queue code, non-conformance, very simple, wrong color item delivered to the customer. And in the case card here, you can see we have our contacts, so the manager of the case, who reported the case, and if you wanted to assign a watcher to the case, you could assign a different contact there if you wanted. And you don't need to assign a watcher to every case at all, even a manager and reporter would do. Okay, so in here in the case card, you can assign all your case actions and track and log and complete your actions and your resolutions. So you can see here that you can track any due date changes. So if someone pushed out a due date for whatever reason on an action that they were due to progress with, should pop up here, you need to enter a reason for the change. And this can be switched on and off. It just allows you, if you want to track the reasons why maybe the next step in the case was pushed out. Just say reschedule. And then the fact that the due date has been changed is marked. It's there visually that you can see. So you can track your due date changes. You can link your cases to any table record in Business Central. Here, for example, we've just linked to this sales invoice header. And I'm running this locally on my machine in a Cronus container. So obviously it does not take this, it's not this slow in a real life scenario. It's just these containers can be quite resource intensive. So this will open when it's finished working on it or thinking on it. It's going to open there the list so you can get in and you can view your the invoice that you've linked, or any of the records, in fact, that you would have linked to the case. Okay, so there's the case links. You can also attach a file to the case, and you can also log interactions for the cases as well. And then at the individual action levels, you can also have action links and action attachments, and they're all viewable here. So we'll do maybe an example of just so maybe just showing you how simple it is just to move it on the workflow, the user definable workflows. So first of all, it's been logged. We can see that was done. We're going to qualify the non-conformance. I just simply, if you wanted to update it with any actions, sorry, any comments here, or attaching a file or linking it. Okay, and once it's been qualified, you can mark it as completed. And then you can move the status on to your next status. So we've logged it, we've qualified, and now we'll have to do the actions to fix the resolutions. So it's the case is then moved on then to that status. So it's that flexible, just moving the case card manually, just as it progresses through your user definable workflow. So what I might just do then is just very briefly, just to kind of finish up, is just a look at just quickly logging a case. So you'll just select from your list of queues. We'll just stick with the non-conformance. You can enter a summary, and also you can, in the setup, specify what details here in the, I suppose, the header part of the case that you want filled in. So you'll always want probably to have, yes, enter a summary, and maybe perhaps enter a case reported method. So we'll just, for example, incorrect packaging. Right. And we'll give it a standard priority. And it was an internal non-conformance, and just say it was verbally reported. And again, all of these case reported methods and all of these can all be set up to, I suppose, for your workflow process, as with the categories as well. You can specify categories. Okay, so I'll assign it to myself. And we could have the reporter was a user. And I suppose the first thing here, we can see the initial status is of log. Again, that's been set up in our queues. And so we're going to log it. Okay, that's it. Just mark it as complete. Sorry, don't add too much there. Join it. There we go. Oh, clicking back too quickly, sorry. So then when you've logged the complaint, you can just update the status to qualify or to whatever the next step would be in your own workflow process. And that's it. You could just mark them as completed as you work through them all. You can update your status as you work through the items. Running your escalation queues, your escalations in the background will send out email notifications to people as it progresses through the queue. And then when you have everything completed, you just mark everything. Your case has been complete. Okay, so that's simply just creating a very simple case there. So as you can see, SD Case Manager provides you with a very flexible way of logging and tracking, escalating and alerting your various issues as cases using your own user-definable workflows. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, I can answer them now, or if you'd like to email us or any questions at all, we can take now.